All right, so welcome everyone to our pre-class question and answer session. I'm not going to do any more talking on how Zoom works and all of that sort of stuff. I think we kind of have that in the bag. I did want to show everybody something about how to use our Facebook page, however. If you want to keep up or tag along. So here I am. This is facebook.com. This is not the app. I'm on my iPad. You're seeing the screen of my iPad, but this is what you'd be getting on a desktop or a laptop. And so here, and then they keep changing this algorithm to see, you guys will notice. So like Amy, by the way, fine painting, Amy, nicely done. Amy is also a pro paint. Now my cat's here bugging me. There are gonna be some distractions today. Just hang in there. Which actually kind of suits what we're talking about. This is a very informal thing that's happening here. So anyway, and there's Christina. You just a nice little update that Christina is watching there, and I see that that's probably you that's here too. So anyway, if you want to follow along, here's the thing. This is on the .com. It says recent activity right there. If you hit that, you can go to new posts. That's kind of the way I like to do it best, because then we see chronological order. I'm always going to have this tag to the top. That's our assignment and explanation. I've already kind of set it out. And this one, you guys, this assignment, I'll say this again when I do the assignment part of our recording, highly open to interpretation. I mean, and that's like by design. I want as much variety to come out of this thing as possible. 1 second. Like as much the beauty of this class and the beauty of this group is our diversity. Go figure. Maybe some lessons could be learned there in a broader sense. But it is like I say this all the time, this is the gushy part, that we couldn't all do this without all of the parts. All that would happen if you were just listening to me and there was no interaction, you would just be getting my own biases. You'd just be hearing things that I have always thought were true. And that's usually how I teach. And I just say, you either enjoy it or you don't, half and half. Half the students usually say, oh, this is a great workshop or class. And half of them are like, I never hear from, take me off your mailing list. Kind of, you think I'm joking, get me off your mailing list. They really disliked it that much. And so with this, to be able to get input back, and then I can kind of plan. And by the way, if you guys want, I'm going to sort of make a schedule plan to be hanging out on Facebook, on our Facebook page before we start, because that's sort of where I'm doing my final research of what you guys want to talk about. And so use that Facebook page. It's been really helpful for me. It's been eye-opening, in fact. I feel like an entire half of some things that I was missing are now sort of taking shape, so to speak. Okay, so Therese was saying letting go of reality, realistic abstraction, or representational abstraction, I'm sorry, finding your voice. Yeah, that is kind of an overview. We're going to keep that cycle going. That's my cycle. I mean, even in our year-long class, my cycle is I always start with the idea of letting go. Remember back when we did simple is not easy for 3 months. Then we did look here, don't look there. That's the kind of, the nuts and bolts. Here is an intermediate between the actual finding your voice class and nuts and bolts. Like this is the perfect time to just sort of loosen up, let all sorts of things rattle around in our heads. And then when we come to finding your voice, we're going to be able to use a bunch of this stuff. Things like, preference for flat shapes versus textured shapes. That's already, that came up in week 1. The preference for what we'll talk about today, a kind of agitated application versus a calm application. There's just so much, there's so much of this stuff to sort of revisit and contemplate and analyze and cross-reference. And in the end, it's not like, if I may say, it's sort of nice for you guys that I'm so analytical, because I can kind of take over the analytical part if you don't want to. Although I know multiple, Cindy and Kathy, you guys enjoy it just as much as I do, just hashing out, getting all the little pieces and figuring out. But if you're more in the team team guts, maybe let me do that analysis, and then you guys just let your guts be guts. That's a great place to be when you're on team guts. So anyway, speaking of which, let's well, I'll wait till the hour. I love taking our team guts versus team brain. Okay, so any other questions, technical? Oh, I was talking about the Facebook page. So I like to do that in order when we go through everything. Here's another really important thing you may want to do. See right there where it says notifications? If you're getting blown up, you know, like every time somebody posts something and it ends up in your feed and you just don't want that much awesome art for your day, hit notifications. I turn mine off because I don't like my Facebook feed that's not this class. You know, I want to rail against the machine and use curse words and things like that. So I just leave this off, and then when I'm ready, I click on over here. I have a shortcut. For me, at least, it's a shortcut. I don't know how it would be for you guys, but I have a little shortcut there, and then I go. So if you're feeling like a little overwhelmed that you're getting too much Facebook crap, that's a way around it. So if there aren't any questions, we can kind of take a little bit of an extended break. I have some upstairs disciplining that I could take care of. Let me know if you guys have a question. I don't want to set up the class just yet about where we're going to go. It looks like we're doing okay. All right, well, let's just take a little break, and then we'll start on the hour. But I do want to say this Facebook page interaction is becoming a pretty fantastic thing. Like we're starting to get the form down where, you know, the posting, and don't worry, you guys who are worried about not getting critiques, we're not doing critiques yet just because we're still sort of fleshing out ideas. We'll get to the point, and I got to say this too, you'll see as we talk about today, how do you critique a bunch of scribbles? You know, like if this is the painting or drawing, what am I going to say about it? Like it is what it is. It's already, you know, am I going to say, oh, make a little bit more dense line up and to the right, you know, or something like that. That's not the point of this class. The point of this class is we're exploring, you know, as I think I mentioned this yesterday, we're going into this abstract cave, finding something down in there and then pulling it back out. And I think that essay by Larry Moore, he even says something like that, like how he uses a similar analogy, maybe the exact same analogy, I can't remember, but that idea of like digging in, finding something. By the way, I love this. I just like that. And you guys know I'm a brain guy, but that just, I just love that. And any of you who have had kids sometime recently or been around grandkids or something like that, when my kids, you'll remember that time when your kids just start drawing, not even like making anything, they're just drawing stuff. Uh-oh, I just got kicked out of something here. When they scribble on like we had a chalkboard and it looks just like Cy Twombly, you know, your kid can do that. They just can't do it on the scale that Cy Twombly does. And so it's, I would like save those, you know, they'd draw on it and I'd be like, oh, let's, you know, take a picture of it or pull it out and put a new thing in. They look just like that. So anyway, if there aren't any questions, let's take another quick, you know, we'll take 15 minutes. I'll set up a timer. And when we come back, I'll do the gestural linear discussion and we'll get our assignment going and you guys can scribble. Oh yeah, look, we'll do annotations too when I get back. How about that? We'll see you guys in just a minute.